Why did I quit racing? Hi guys, and welcome back, and welcome to another video where today I am out driving my Mercedes A45 AMG. I am loving the blue. I've said it so many times, but honestly, I really am. I walked downstairs this morning and I was like, yes! I just want to get in it and I want to drive it. And that is what we're going to be doing today. And also what is happening in this video is I'm going to be answering a lot of your questions which you fired into my Instagram not long ago. A couple of months ago I celebrated 100,000 subscribers and I asked you guys for that celebration to send in your questions and I will answer them in a video. And that is what I did, but I didn't answer as many as I probably wanted to. So I'm going to be going through my Instagram and seeing the questions which you fired into me and answering them for you. In the meantime, let's jump in my A45 and head on our way and go for a drive. We are underway in traffic and I'm running lower and lower on fuel, which isn't ideal. But anyway, to distract me, let's answer some of your questions. So, question number one. What is my dream car? Well, dream car in general or dream car that I've driven? Probably a LaFerrari. After driving one, that's probably the best car I've driven in terms of supercars. The LaFerrari, when I put it up against the Rimac Concept 1. Oh, this is tight! Oh, this is tight! Come on! Come on! I'm moving as fast as I can! Oh! He just beat me! Oh, that was so close! He just beat me! It was such an amazing experience. A question I do get asked a hell of a lot. Is your job being a YouTuber? Yes, this is what I now do full time. I probably went full time with doing YouTube about 4 to 5 months ago, solely because making the content for you guys, I love doing it. I love what I do and I like putting all my effort into it because, you know, it's what I love. It's my dream, it's my passion. How did you get started? How do I get started in starting a YouTube channel? I want to start a YouTube channel. My best advice is when you think about starting a YouTube channel, do it for your passion. Think about the passion first. Do something you're passionate about, because I genuinely love what I do. Like every day when I get a chance to film, I absolutely love it. And that leads to a question which gets asked a lot as well. This is, why did I quit racing?
We go racing in Monza as Archie Hamilton leads the charge.
Because obviously the channel name is called Archie Hamilton Racing, and you guys are probably thinking, well, he doesn't even race, blah blah blah. Right, I'm going to address this because I've never actually addressed it before. Racing, I did it from such a young age. I did it from the age of 8 and I did it to probably 24. And you know, I love racing. Like, I grew up and I got the chance to race in series such as Formula Renault, Porsche Carrera Cup in England. Then I moved over to Europe and I raced in the International GT Open in a Porsche, where I finished 3rd in the championship. Got wiped out in the last race where I could have won the championship, but that's another story. And then I moved to racing for Corvette in around Europe in the GT Open series again, where we won loads of races. And it was a wicked time in my life, but the best bit was getting the chance to race in the Le Mans 24 hours. It was just amazing and an experience which I will never forget. I've done it twice. I struggled to get sponsorship because it costs so much money to go racing. It costs hundreds and thousands of pounds. I was having to knock on everyone's door 24/7 to sort of get money here and there just to make the next race weekend. And the opportunity came where I wasn't racing and I was assigned as a driver coach for a lot of the car YouTubers, and we met them such as Paul Wallace, Seen Through Glass, Seb Delaney, Mr. JWW and Shmee150, and I was helping them get their racing license. We all met and it all went from there really, and I got a glimpse of something which I thought, you know what, while I'm not racing, why don't I start in YouTube? And it all went from there, and I did my first video and did a couple more, just sort of seeing how it went, and it went well, and I never looked back. So I thought, racing, I'm kind of done, and that is the reason why I quit racing. I loved it, but this was a new chapter, this was a new start for me, and I love what I do. So that was the reason why I quit racing, mainly sponsorship, the YouTube starting, etc. Would I go back to racing, which leads on to something else? I don't know. It would have to be really appealing to draw me back, because I know you guys want to see more racing content on the channel, but at the moment I'm loving what I'm doing. Racing, if it happens, obviously my YouTube will take priority, and racing would come second. Another question is, what will your next supercar be? Well, I've owned the R8 for roughly, how long is it? Five months? Probably 5 months, and I've loved it. It's been wicked. Probably my first proper supercar, because a lot of people didn't count the Corvette as a supercar. I mean, there's been a lot of talk, and I've spoken to you guys about it, in terms of that I would love a Ferrari 458. Value for money, the Audi R8 is so good, but in the future, who knows? Who knows where I'm going to be in a year's time, or, well, no, it'd be before then, but, you know, who knows where things take you. Am I going to sell all my cars and buy a house? Is what someone asked. But obviously Paul Wallace has sold his Lamborghini and he's getting a house. Probably a much better decision than what I'm doing. I've just moved to London, and I'm loving living there. You know, the cars are part of my channel. I'm a little bit addicted to getting cars and sort of bringing you guys on the journey. At the end of the day, I can't wrap a house, I can't put an exhaust on a house and modify, well, I can modify a house, but you know, you guys won't want to really see it, so we'll stick to cars for now. This is the best question. Who would look best in a bikini? Tim, Sam, Paul or James? Why am I answering this? Why am I even address this? I'm gonna get killed either way here. I mean, I don't know the best way to say this, to be honest. I reckon I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say Paul, because he's got all his tattoos and, you know, he thinks he's a bit of a lad. So we'll say Paul. Paul will look best in a bikini. What would be your dream 3-car garage? I don't know. It's a tricky one. I reckon, in terms of hypercar, I just love the LaFerrari. I just love it. I just think it is just the dream. It really, really is. So I'd set that as my hypercar. I mean, I do like the Bugatti Chiron, but I've just always looked up to the LaFerrari for just years. In terms of, what else would I have? I'm loving the Huracan Performante at the moment. I really am. I think that is just wicked. So LaFerrari, Huracan Performante, and what could I have as a third car? I don't know. Would I have a McLaren in there as well? What I'm thinking is that I'd have a hypercar in terms of, let's say, a LAF, then a step below, like Huracan Performante or like a McLaren or something like that, in terms of in that bracket, and then go one down, because you're going to need to get daily, you're going to need to get around. So what would I get around? Audi RS4. Yeah, I reckon so. Audi RS4, Performante and a LaFerrari. Yeah, so many people think that this car is down on power. On the drag races, it's basically lost nearly everything. The RS3 is pulling away! It's pulling away! The RS3 is gone! And will I get it on a dyno? How much power does it really have, etc.? It could be down on power. There is potential, and you know, I do want to address these sort of issues. You know, a few people are sending me different shots of the turbos, in terms of you had smoke coming out the back of it, because this car has been tuned before. I'm on the case to address this, because now I'm using this car more and more. I want it to be running right, and I want it to be running the right power. Is it running well at the moment? It is running well. I mean, I don't notice sort of a massive difference, but it could be something tiny that could be affecting a little bit of performance. But the plan is to get it onto the dyno. But in terms of what I think it could, I mean, it might not even be running full 30. In the next few weeks, it will go on a dyno, and you guys are going to be the first people to see the exact dyno results. So I'm now back home after driving the Mercedes A45 and answering the questions which you sent. I hope they all made sense, and I cleared up why I'm no longer racing. Obviously, it was such a big part of my life. It feels really odd for me to say I no longer race. It sounds weird, and obviously the channel being called Archie Hamilton Racing, my focus is to bring more track content for you all, in terms of taking supercars around the track and pushing cars more to the limit in that direction. I do want to race again, but like I mentioned, YouTube will now take priority for me, but we'll just see where it goes. It could be the case that next year I might be racing and on YouTube as well. We just don't know, but it was an amazing time of my life. I loved it so much that in London, a few of the trophies are on display in my apartment. I really enjoy answering your questions, so if you have any more, just fire them to my Instagram and I'll try and answer them in my next Q&A. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all very soon.